What is up, guys? Nofi here, and I'm bringing you something real special today. So last night, we just got our first look into the next balance patch. Now, this balance patch is unlike any balance patch that I've seen from COG in all my years of Elsword. Like, I've not seen this side of COG in what feels like forever. Hell, did this side of COG even exist? That's an arguable question. But I think this is the first look into our actual balance patch, quote unquote, that actually brings a little bit of balance. Now, with that said, this does mean that some of your classes / characters do get neutered. And when I mean neutered, guys, I mean that to the fullest extent, because holy shit, COG was ruthless with this one. They were pretty fucking ruthless. Now, I'm not saying this balance patch is perfect. There are still some key things that I felt wasn't touched on, and hopefully I do something with it in the future. But yeah, there's still a few problems with this balance patch, but hell, after the renewal, they need fucking, because that shit was a fucking mess. The renewal to this day is still a motherfucking mess, but pardon my language, by the way. But yeah, I have so much animosity, can you tell? Anyway, let's dive right into it. So, the beginning of next month, we're getting our first balance patch. And as you can see, already with this first note, already characters like Aisha, GA specifically, Ad, DC, hell, if you play KR, Rose, they've already been stabbed. They just got the first stab of this nerf. All projectile damage decreased in PvP. Already. And we hadn't even gotten to the meat of this balance patch note. So take that as you will. But still, damage decrease, we don't know by how much though. That's the thing. So COG still has room to fuck up. And I'm gonna just leave it at that. Anyway, so we scroll down a little more. First up, we have Elsword. And let's see. Shared skill, roll. Invincibility frames changed to super armor. I'm okay with that. It's kind of like teleport. Remember how teleport? They had iframes, but then they changed it to super armor. So it's pretty much the same thing with roll. But if that's the case, that begs the question: are they gonna do the same thing with Rena's backflip shot? Because that also has iframes. And then Chung's new active, that also has iframes. So is that gonna be changed to super armor as well? We'll see. Sword shield, absorbing attribute changed to tenacious attribute, which means that instead of gaining more MP off the skill per tick, it's gonna decrease the KD per tick. So that's actually pretty good. It's actually a pretty good buff for this skill, because Lord Knight is the only L-boy that has kick. So that'll really help Infinity Sword keep his combos going, you know. Now, Harsh Chaser. This is an interesting one. Slight tracking affected to throwing sword. Now, I'm not sure how they meant by this, but I think I have an idea. Like, I'm gonna run you through a hypothetical. So pretty much, say you're like in Wally Center, and you're both bottom. You're both at the bottom, and then your enemy is like on bottom plat. But then you throw out the Harsh Chaser. So is the sword gonna have like an arc to it, to where it curves up, and then that's how you pull them, or something like that? It's interesting. So I wonder how they're gonna do with that. But I guess that's the only thing we have for Elsword, apparently. No other classes need to be looked at for Elsword, but alright. So we're gonna scroll down, because next up we have Aisha. And oh god, it begins. it begins. So let's start. Now, her first one starts PvP with 0 MP. This always bothered me, not just for Aisha, but Rena as well. They're the only two characters that starts PvP off with 50 MP guaranteed. Why was that? It was never explained, or else I guess I skimmed over something. Never explained, like, in their lore, their skill set. there was never a reason why they were the only two characters to start off with 50 MP right off the bat. I mean, yeah, you could argue that because they regenerate mana faster than everybody else, but that's not a really good reason, because that's like two different things, you know? But anyway, I digress. Next one, teleport. Cooldown time in PvP increased, so it's just like before. I don't know why they decreased the time, but you know, because it's kind of like, it's really, honestly, it's kind of like season 1 when Aisha would just spam teleport everywhere and you can never catch the bitch. Like, I'm gonna stop. Can you see I have a lot of animosity? Like, I'm gonna stop. Anyway, Binding Circle. MP cost increased and radius decreased. So Binding Circle gets nerfed. MP cost increased by how much though? Probably like 20 or so. And the radius decreased, so the AoE is much smaller. Dimension Witch, Interject Body, duration decrease, okay. Void Princess, Shadow Body, duration decrease, definitely. Like, that skill lasts way too long, lasts longer than fucking Stoic, lasts longer, well, does it last longer than Oriax? I'm not sure. Phantom Breathing, Anchor, duration decrease, alright. Magic Missile, projectile tracking speed decrease. So does that mean it goes back to like its post-renewal counterpart, to where you can just circle loop it and abuse the AI and never get hit? Is that the thing? If so, then okay. I'm fine with that. I mean, some people might QQ, but hell, I'm fine with that shit. I sound pretty biased, I'm not even gonna lie. Anyway, Chain Lightning, MP cost increase. Okay. By how much? Again, by how much? And if that's the case, okay. For those who pick the Chain Lightning attribute where it ignores guard, but also increases the MP cost, you guys already shot yourself in the foot. Unwillingly shot yourself in the foot. Because imagine that shit is now like 175 MP. Wow. That's crazy. Hopefully that's not the case, but that's crazy. Anyway, elemental body duration decrease. Okay. So Aisha got pretty hefty nerfs, in my opinion. Start PvP with 0 MP, that's a big one. That's a huge big one. As well as her teleport. Again, that's a really big one. She gets nerfed again. VP, definitely. Her duration for Shadow Body. So it'll still be spammable, but she won't be in Shadow Body as long. Because I felt that overstayed his welcome for way more. Like, when you're clocking at 10 seconds, like, you're still in the same damn thing. That's OP. That's pretty OP. Granted, same with Oriax, but we'll get to Oriax actually. We'll actually get to Oriax. So I welcome that change. Next up, Rena. She gets the same as the nerf with the shared part. She also starts PvP with 0 MP as well. And now here's the thing. Here's the next interesting part. Because of this next nerf alone, all of her classes are affected. Just to get to one class, all of her classes are affected. So Nature's Force, the MP recovery effect is decreased. RIP GA. And damage reduction effect removed. RIP GA and Night Watcher. Wow. So you're telling me just to get to Wind Sneaker, you had to undoubtedly nerf all of her other classes? Like, damn. That is tough. That is fucking tough. Like, isn't there any other workaround? Or I don't know. They just went after the system itself. So holy shit. Which means you'll deal more than 0 damage with the MK4. So you won't see none of that anymore. Hypothetically. For Combat Ranger, her low kick debuff duration is decreased. Thank God. Cause debuffs like that, duration decrease is heavily welcomed. Because Wind Sneaker's low kick, Raven's cut tendon, or Blade Master's cut tendon, and DC's freaking leg shot. Those debuff durations last way too long. Last way too long. To the point where if you're getting looped with these debuffs, there's a problem. There's a problem. Because if you're fighting someone that's very good, they can pretty much loop you in that duration and you'll never be taken off at all. So you'll never be without jump height or movement speed. You'll never be without your run. It's crazy. It's crazy. So yeah, that's definitely welcome. And I hope they do the same thing with the others. Now that I mentioned it, cut tendon, and they already did it with leg shot, but you know what I mean. Also, flexible body cooldown time increased. Yes, it's increased again. Another nerf. I don't know. You characters with resurrection, man. I swear. You guys, like, and people QQ about it so much, but you have to understand, in other games, resurrection, I mean, yeah, you get revived, but their cooldown time is much longer. We're talking over a minute, maybe 2 minutes of resurrection time, cooldown time. And here, you guys have like what? I don't know, 30 seconds or so, 22 seconds. I don't know. I'm just throwing numbers here, but yeah, this game really does hold your hand. Like if you're dead, just die. Holy shit. Okay, I need to calm down. Yeah, that's enough about that. I'm gonna just move on. Nature's Force. Fix problems where hit effect would remain longer than intended. Yes, Nature's Force has always been a problem. Like Wind Sneaker's Nature's Force, the hitbox on that thing is just godly. It's so godly. I would still contend it as one of the best actors in A. Well, not in A, but just Elsword in general, you know. Definitely one of the best actors. Aurelina, HP recovered per second decrease, buff duration increase. So they nerfed the HP recovery, which is okay. And they buff duration increase. So the movement, all that type of stuff is buff. Well, that's a pretty good trade-off. I feel that's a pretty good trade-off. No more of just Wind Sneaker spamming it, you know, and they get like all their fucking HP back with no damage taken, because damage reduction has been removed. So, I'm not saying that she's not that much of a tank anymore, but she's definitely gotten neutered in her defense for sure. For sure. We move down to Sniping Ranger, Wind Ward, skill duration decrease. I like that as well. I felt that skill lasted way too long as well, to the point where if a GA is able to just throw a Wind Ward at you and then gain the MP of using it back so that she could do it to you again on Wake Up, that's crazy. That is crazy. And so yeah, Guide Arrow, hit stun decreased, which is a pretty okay change. And I also like this next change. Doesn't lock on the targets that are a certain distance away. So pretty much there's some setup involved for you to use the skill effectively now. You can't just get the MP and then fire away, you know? It's kind of like Maximum Strike, where if you get a certain distance away, it doesn't lock on anymore. Which begs the question, why did they just nerf skills like that altogether? But GA was already pretty bottom tier at that point, and Diabolic Esper desperately needed to be looked at that point as well. So that all makes sense. But that's about it. Night Watcher seems to be pretty untouched. Alright, next up we have Raven. And I guess it's just a Veteran Commander and Blade Master for this one. So his 7 burst maximized to lighter, which means the MP cost is reduced. I never really care for the maximized attribute stat. Like, yeah, it's 100% critical, but the damage is 80% lower. Like, if you want crit, just stack crit, you know what I mean? But yeah, lighter, so the MP cost is reduced, which is fine. Mental Crash, yes, effect duration decrease. Fuck this skill, VCs, this skill is so godly, like, oh my god. If I was a VC, I would be spamming the shit out of Mental Crash, dude. Like, I'm not even gonna bullshit, because that skill is just too damn good. It's too damn good. It needed to be nerfed. That skill was so damn good. I'm salty that I don't have the skill. That's how good it is. That's how good it is. Harpoon Spear, maximize the heavier. That's a pretty okay trade-off. So from 100% critical to doing more damage, but instead, it also has a longer cooldown time. Which for skills that are like 200, over 250, the heavier attribute, that's okay, because there's not that many times where you'll use the 250 skill and then get the MP back to use it again as soon as it comes off cooldown, you know? So that's very welcome. Hellfire Gatling. A skill I've never really seen the VC use. But from maximize to enhance, which means it pretty much just gets a damage increase. So that's pretty nice. Giga Promise, another skill that I hardly see VCs use. They did back when Veteran Commander was first released, or Weapon Taker for that matter. But yeah, just more damage. Breaking Fist, MP cost reduced pretty much. Ignition Crow, MP cost reduced as well. But this next part, change orders of absorbing and evil? Like, okay, I have a few questions. What does that mean? So instead of the absorbing attribute, it becomes evil? If so, holy shit. That means Ignition Crow Incineration just got buffed, if that's the case. Because not only can you not mana break that shit, because the tick will be too fast and it will just cancel it right then and there. But if that's the case, it'll also burn MP as well. It'll also burn mana as well. Like, holy shit. But then will it burn mana from the initial cast, or when you're standing in the flames? I'm a little bit scared right now. That's scary. That is freaking scary. Veteran Commander is looking like a fucking boss right now. That is scary. I guess we'll just have to wait and see. Holy shit. Blade Master, cut tendon, injury duration decrease. Okay, so yeah, they did do it. Same thing with like locate, they lowered the duration of that. Alright. That's good, I welcome that as well. Okay, moving on to Eve. Let's see, as we look through, just CBS pretty much. Alright. So mana conversion, skill HP cost decreased. That's pretty good. Yeah, that's a nice little buff. Kugel Blitz maximized to innovative, which means the MP cost is reduced, as well as the cooldown time. No, I got that wrong. MP cost is reduced, but the cooldown time is increased. Well then, if that's the case, then I think that's a pretty good trade-off. I'm not sure. What do you guys think? Because Kugel Blitz got nerfed to where it's 100 MP, but with innovative, it'll probably be, I don't know, maybe 75 MP or so? I don't know. It's like it's a pretty nice risk-reward factor. See, that's the type of balance I'm talking about. That's actual balance. That's a actual balance trait, because it makes you think. It makes you think about the utility of the skill. You know what I mean? Ah, interesting. 1000 star doesn't lock on the targets that are a certain distance away in PvP. Okay. So pretty much like Guide Arrow and all that other stuff. Enhanced L energy reaction, MP, max MP increase, and effect is increased. Okay. So pretty much nothing but buffs I'm looking at, except 1000 star. That's the only quote-unquote nerf. But then all CBS is set up for 1000 star anyway. They'll just throw a skill out. So you know. Okay. Not bad. Alright, Chung, just Deadly Chaser, huh? Alright, after image, hit on dash X command remove. Huh. I mean, I wish they could nerf that dash X hitbox, so, you know, I'll figure out what I can do. Okay, Shooting Star for Deadly Chaser. Now, as you guys may know, in my last video, my HP got melted by this DC that used Shooting Star. Like, I absolutely got wrecked. But with this nerf, he has to set up for it now. Unlike the DC that I used in my video who just threw it out, he has to be a little bit closer to me. It doesn't have to be like across the map to use it. But pretty much like the other skills, doesn't lock on the targets that are a certain distance away in PvP, which is good. Bullet Blitz tracking performance revamp. Okay, pause. We're gonna pause it right here. Revamp. Huge quotations on revamp. What do you mean? Cog, what do you mean? Because if we skim over your past quote-unquote revamps, I have the right to be skeptical at this point. I'm just talking about Bullet Blitz right now. There should be no reason why I'm standing in front of a DC, right? And he shoots out Bullet Blitz. There should be no reason why the Bullet Blitz just shoots past me. It just sits there, not do anything. Like, that is such a waste of a skill. Bullet Blitz used to be really good. Do you guys remember season 1? Bullet Blitz used to be godly. It just got shit on so hard. Like, what happened here? What happened? How do you fuck up coding that bad? You know what I mean? Like, it makes no type of sense. But again, I'm getting off on a tangent. Let's just get back. Ugh, this game, man, this game. Tussle technique. Add effect to have a certain chance of turning into berserk mode. Whoa. Regardless of awakening orbs? Whoa. Okay, that's interesting. That is interesting. Wow. I like that. I actually kind of like that. That is interesting. I kind of wish it did for all Chunks though. Why is it just DC that gets it? But all them cannonballs though. Time to go trigger happy with that. Deadly shot, heavier effect increase, so it just does more damage. Okay. Alright, that's it for Chung apparently. With this balance patch. Next up we have Aura. And let's see, first up, her base nerf specialization B's MP gain rate adjusted. Adjusted how? More or lower? Like, in what sense, you know? Jump X commands KD rate decrease effect decreased. Why did it take so long for this? Why? Her fucking jump. You know what really pisses me off? What really pisses me off? Okay, I'm gonna just go into this story. Well, it's not so much of a story, but a little tangent. Why did characters like Elesis and Ad get gravity nerfs, right? But Aura, Chung, none of them get gravity nerfs? Like, what the fuck was that, yo? Like, are you serious? Are you fucking serious? Whatever. Alright. I'm a tad bit salty. Just a tad bit. Like a lot. Maybe a lot. I'm salty. So yeah, next up, energy absorption, mana burn effect adjusted. Okay. Again, adjusted how? More? Less mana burn? Anyways, next up, steel body. Power stun to regular stun. Yes! Okay, yes. Why it takes so long for them to do this? Power stun to regular stun, yes. And the stun duration is decreased. Oh my god, don't get me started on steel body. Do not get me started on steel body. That is Aura's bread and butter, by the way. Like, if you're an Aura, you're not running steel body, either you're trying to be innovative or you're just not playing the character right. That's how I feel, by the way. But just steel body, that skill is way too damn good. Again, contender for one of the best actors in the game. Definitely, bar none. Like, that skill has such a high reward, low risk factor. I don't even know where to begin. But yeah, change to regular stun and duration is decreased, which means VC characters like Veteran Commander with their passive that lowers like stun debuff durations, they're hardly gonna be affected by this at all. So that's pretty good for them. So yeah, that's a welcome nerf. I like that. Little Devil, her mana swap, base energy recovery rate decreased. Okay. Suppression. Resource consumes changed. Area increased attribute effect decreased. That's interesting. So, resource consumed. So that means, is it going to cost more? I feel like it's going to cost more. And her AoE, even though the AoE attribute gives it a bigger AoE, it's going to be decreased, I believe. So, it's going to be more, but just not as much as it was before. So, okay. Now Yamaraja's resurrection skill. That cooldown. Now Yamaraja's resurrection passive. That cooldown time is also increased. Okay, so we're pretty much just nerfing all all the characters with resurrect, right? But by how much time? That's the thing. How much time? And if it's a Yamaraja, she still can gain orbs pretty fast, especially if you leave her alone. So if that's the case, then you definitely better hunt down that Yamaraja. Like, you need to be on that ass, or else you're just gonna be fighting a zombie again. Alright, Little Spectre, her mana drain, mana burn, and absorption rate adjusted. Again, more or less, what type of adjustment are we talking about? But I guess we will see come balance patch. Her Spectre Walk, subtlety, duration, and physical defense decrease, duration decrease. Okay, so Spectre Walk pretty much been nerfed. Alright, that's it for Aura. Moving on to Elesis. Okay, off the bat, I'm already concerned with this patch note. So, do we not need to look at Grandmaster? Do we not need to look at Grandmaster? Cause that truck has some issues that needs to be fixed. Like, that's way too much damage. Do we not need to look at? Okay, all right, whatever. All right, let's look at it. Burning Phantom, maximize the heavier. Okay, I'm alright with that. I'm alright with that. More damage, but a higher cooldown. It's not like anyone really uses Burning Phantom that much anymore. The only time you see an Ellie get like 300 MP is unless they have like gear or they're just tanking for no damn reason. Like, honestly, just gear. There should never, or a hyperactive. There should never really be a, you know. Alright, next up, Judgment. Bleeds activation chance and HP absorption chance increase. Okay. That's a buff. Overflowing blood. Skill debuff removal. Effects cooldown time decrease. That's also a buff. So pretty much we're just looking at buffs right here for Ellie. Crimson Avenger was pretty much nerfed pretty damn hard. But it's just their passives that are being looked at for now. Okay. But okay, again, we're just not gonna look at Grandmaster. She's fine, right? Right, Cog? She's just fine where she is, right? even though I just love Grandmaster. Even though I love that character so much, that does not mean I cannot admit that she has problems, because she definitely does. That character is pretty much OP. Like, her renewal was crazy. But anyway, NT way. Next up we have Add. Let's see what they do with this boy. Buster type skill damage decreased in PvP. Alright. Psychic Tracer, Pulse Cannon. MP cost increase, PvP damage increase. Yes, this is a much needed nerf, I felt. Pulse Cannon does way too much damage for it to be an 100 MP skill. Definitely way too much damage. Using it unawakened, the PvP doesn't lock on the target from a certain. Okay. So wait, hold on. I have another question. So I know this has happened to some of you as well. I can't be the only person. So you know how sometimes when a psychic or a LP would throw out pulse cannon, right, and it misses, out of nowhere that shit does like a boomerang effect and just clotheslines you off screen. Like, has that ever happened to anybody? So if that's the thing, if that's the case where it doesn't lock on, will this shit go away, or will that shit still happen? Like, that boggles the fuck out of me. Like, nigga, what? Like, this gang, man. Okay, next up we have LP Conqueror. By the looks of it, I think it's gonna get nerfed again. Using it unawakened and PvP is locked on targets that are a certain distance away. Then again, if you're an LP using Conqueror unawakened, what the fuck are you doing? You should never use Conqueror unawakened. PvP damage when using unawakened adjusted. Again, you should never use Conqueror unawakened. If you want the maximized damage, you should always be in DP mode. Always. Time Tracer, Seal of Time. Cooldown time increase. So yeah, I was right. Pretty much all resurrection skills get nerfed. Okay. So seal of time gets nerfed again. Pretty much. Reverse stigma, hit range adjusted. It's probably gonna be a nerf for sure, definitely. Like they did with remember Mind Break in its ungodly hit traction? Like you could be at bottom plat, you could hit somebody at top plat. Remember that shit? Yeah. So it's probably gonna do the same with reverse stigma. Alright. Next up, let's look at LuCiel, OPS character. Soul Infest, hit range decreased, PvP damage yes. Yes, much needed, yes, okay. See, COG is doing some right shit. Compared to the questionable shit, they're still doing some things that I deem okay. Much needed problems are being taken care of for sure in this balance patch, I will say. Cause after the renewal, Soul Infest does way too much damage. Plus, it can't be mana broken, so that's guaranteed damage. You know what I mean? Like it's crazy. So yeah, I welcome this nerf. For sure. Evil Claw, restraint time decreased. Okay, so it's probably gonna be from like what, 2 seconds to 1 second, I guess. I mean, it's not like LuCiel needs any more restraining skills. Like, I mean, look at Dreadlord. He has rushing chains, Evil Claw, and if he's running Sandblasted, you know, Sandblast, but you know what I mean. Alright. Power of Oriax. MP cost increase, effect duration decrease. Okay. That skill definitely needs a nerf. Again, for sure. Not to mention, they already moved like molasses anyway, but you know, still needs nerf. That skill is way too good. But the MP cost increased, and the effect duration is decreased. So, if Shadow Body still lasts longer than Oriax, then I don't know. I don't know what's wrong with the world. I honestly don't know. Next up, Oblivion. Fixed error of killing targets that were in... What? Okay, again. Oh my god, COD. How do you guys fuck up so hard? How do you guys not know how to code your game? I'm not saying coding is easy by any feat, because it's not. I've done coding before. Oh my god, coding is so fucking annoying and tedious, but problems like that cannot be overlooked, man. They just can't. They just can't. They can't. So yes, much needed, definitely, because if you're still dying and you're in an invincible state, then I guess you're not invincible, huh, nigga? Like, really? I guess you're not. Like, oh my god. Okay, anyway, so Supreme Punishment. Fix problems that occurring because deadly land aura was being detected as inactive. What? I'm not sure about that one, but okay. Phantom Blade MP cost increase. They're nerfing you again, huh? So it's just like when you first debuted. So I guess you're back at 150? Well, I mean, I guess that's a welcome nerf. So it can't be spammed much for the combo gauge. But again, since it costs more in P, you're gonna get more combo points for that gauge, so I don't know. Either way, it seems. No, it's definitely a nerf. Because you can't switch. Seal doesn't. You don't really have that many skills where you can switch out the seal for Dreadlord. Dreadlord is definitely more Lu based for sure. Definitely. Let's see. Next up, trigger soul absorption. Mana burn rate decreased, MP cost adjusted. So if that's the case, then I guess instead of burning 7 mana, it's gonna probably decrease to 5 mana per tick. Well, alright. I guess that's it for LuCiel, you know. Now on to the new characters that you guys probably don't know much about, but let's see what they do. Rising Shot, damage increase, effect decrease. Definitely, she definitely needed that, because we all know how her up X is, and with Crimson Roses, oh my god, Crimson fucking Rose. We're gonna get to that. Miracle Vision, ECP cost increased, okay. FM92 and Lancer SW, time gap between damages increased, hit amount decreased, alright. The first hit stun changed to give hit stuns all hits. Yes! I never understood why it's only the first hit that does hit stun and the rest are just no hit stun at all. That always bothered me. But okay. Heavy Artillery Mastery, skill effect duration increased, okay. Buster Cannon ECB cost increased, alright. Not bad. Revolver Mastery, firing speed, increase rate, decreased. Yes! Fucking yes, she needed that shit, cause Crimson Rose is basically the new GA. Oh my god. If you're not X looping, you're not doing it right. Like, she's definitely GA. And her X does so much damn damage, like, Jesus Christ. Yeah. And she's only been out a few days. So they were pretty quick with this one. They were definitely pretty quick with this one. Kill point. Restrained duration decreased. Okay. So probably from like, what was it, like 4 seconds? Probably like 2, maybe? Was it 4 seconds? I'm not sure. I don't remember. Death by revolver. Critical damage increased, effect decreased. Okay. Yeah, she does insanely amount of damage. Bloody action. Blood Carnival's duration decreased. Blood Carnival buff details added to tooltip. Alright. That's fine. I did felt Blood Carnival's duration lasted a little too long. As flashy as it is, it looks fucking amazing. Really, they did a really good job making this class resemble her DFO counterpart. They did a really good job with that. I will say that. And yeah, there were just some adjustments needed, and not bad. But yeah, guys, there you have it for our upcoming balance patch that was much needed, I felt, especially after renewal, which pretty much fucked up everything, which was like entirely a huge ass mess. Entirely. Like, there were some characters that definitely needed the buffs, I will say that, but there's no reason why everyone needed to be hitting like trucks. There's no reason why. Like, the damage modifiers on all that shit was just broken and out the ass. But yeah, definitely a much needed balance patch. Hopefully we see more balance patches in the near future, because there's still some characters that weren't mentioned on here that needs to be looked at. I'm still looking at you, Grandmaster. But yeah, and I'm not even gonna bother with responses because it's probably just people keep queuing anyway. But yeah, overall, I vote the balance patch. It's a step in the right direction, definitely. It's a step in the right direction. It's by far the most quote-unquote attempt to balance this game that I've seen in what feels like ages, you know? It definitely feels like ages. There's still some characters that definitely still need nerfs. Like, they're still OP. Even though Dreadlord got touched, his damage is still fucking godlike. They didn't do anything about ads fucking MP gain. They didn't do anything about that. Or IP's MP gain. They didn't do anything about that. But yeah, so far looking okay. It's looking okay. Yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comments. How do you feel about this balance patch? You like it? You hate it? What are your thoughts? Let me know. Alright guys, this is Nofi, and until next time, later.